couple of other things. And this, I want to ask you this. Big 12 Commissioner Brett Yormark being nominated for the Sports Business Journal's Sports Executive of the Year. Now, I would think if this would have been at this time last year, if this would have been in the fall or even back in the later part of last year, this would be 100% of most everybody in the Big 12 would probably, yes, you know, you get up that one, what is it, a GIF where everyone's clapping or whatever. I don't know what that would be like now. I think most everybody still really likes what he's done because he's done a lot for the Big 12. But all this stuff with the college football playoff, the revenue sharing, and also whatever happens with the playoff spots, slots, etc., he's kind of right now to me on the clock. Not whether he's successful or not, but want to see how he fights back, whatever it is, with what's going on with the playoff.
I'll be curious to see what happens if the ACC does, in fact, implode to a level where it's not a conference anymore, if it goes the way of the Pac-12 because of this, or if just a few teams leave and they consolidate around that and try to build something that stays. I think, though, when you lose the brands that they're going to lose, it's going to be tough, which means that, you know, a Pitt, a Louisville, a Syracuse, a Georgia Tech or a Duke would be very attractive to the Big 12 because those are, I mean, especially when it comes to basketball, that can build his basketball super league that he dreams of. If he can do that and then solidify football around the fact that they're going to have so much advantage in basketball, then, yeah, I think that people will still feel good about him. But he's going to have to find a way to thread the needle and be glad that the Big 12 is together now and doesn't have this problem that Clemson and Florida State are out there. And, look, when I had Dennis Dodd on last week, he said that he thinks that the Big 12 isn't out of the realm of possibility for Florida State and Clemson in that, you know, if the Big Ten and SEC just aren't hot for them right now, then what else do they have to do? Because they can't get out of this thing and then not go somewhere else. But I think that will be seen once they're out.
I don't believe for a second that they would not have landing spots. I don't believe that for a solitary second. That's got to be something that you just got to say for the time being, because there's no chance in hell that the Big Ten and the SEC would pass on Florida State, both, or a Clemson, or North Carolina. So, I mean, that's nice thinking, and I totally get that. Like, if somehow that were to happen, then sure, the Big 12 would be there with open arms. Like, here's your landing spot. Please land here. I just think it's far more realistic that it would be the Louisvilles and those types of schools versus the big brands at this point. And that would still be okay. I mean, there's schools in that league that would certainly add value, that would juice up basketball even further, even add a bit of sizzle in football as well. You know, to what extent you'd add however many teams. I mean, that's so far down the road. And then again, it's like probably 6 months from now. I mean, maybe even sooner, but based on the way things are going. It felt so far down the road not that long ago, and here we are. So I just think you have to be prepared for every scenario. If you're Yormark and company, that's what your job is to be ready to act in the Big 12's best interest. I think he's done that for the most part. I do think the only reason why I say the most part is because we don't have all the details on the playoff negotiations and exactly how that was settled upon. You know, how much did he fight for and how much did he not end up with? But yeah, there's more work to be done. Sure, I don't think we can claim it's just a massive success, but I do think he did enough in this first year, enough of a chaos generator and kind of disruption to the system that, you know, ultimately worked out in his favor with the Pac-12 dissolving and getting what they clearly said they wanted all along, which was those four corner schools. I mean, yeah, you have to give him credit for that, among others. And so I can see where he gets that nod. But his most important work is certainly still to come, because this thing is hovering on the edge of a cliff right now, and you don't quite know, like, if you're just taking a short fall or if you're going all the way off that baby, depending on, you know, what part or what seat you're sitting in right now.
I agree. Houston released